Hari Om. Why do you refer the Nirguna Brahman, the Satchit, Aham, or the pure awareness as the presence of Bhagavan? Once a person asked Bhagavan about his true nature or form. Bhagavan told him, pointing towards the Arunachala, that what else is Arunachala other than the I am? Meaning, the question was asked about Bhagavan's true nature, and the reply which was given by Bhagavan was that the true nature of Arunachala is the sense of being, the pure being I am, which means that Bhagavan is totally identified with Arunachala, and the true form of Arunachala is the sense of I am, the pure awareness, Satchit, Nirguna Brahman. So, when we refer to the true being, the sense of I am, the pure I, it is the very nature of Arunachala. The true form of Arunachala as the pure being I am. And this is also the presence of Bhagavan. Arunachala is Bhagavan's Guru, and our Guru is both Arunachala and Bhagavan. So this being the case, it is only appropriate to consider the pure being I am as the very presence of Bhagavan, because Bhagavan himself is Arunachala. And there is one important aspect to the fact that why I refer this pure being as the presence of Bhagavan. Rather than referring something as Atma or pure being, if we can just feel or refer it as the presence of Bhagavan, then it will increase our devotion and the sense of gratitude 100 times. The very fact that the presence of Bhagavan is there within us always, all the time, here and now, means that we are constantly in the presence of Bhagavan. So, having the deep feeling that we are always in the presence of Bhagavan is extremely useful in the sadhana. Having this wonderful feeling of being in the presence of Bhagavan all the time itself will make our mind turned within towards the very presence of Bhagavan, and it will be very easy for anyone to disassociate or not to get entangled in any of the so-called worldly pleasures. So rather than fighting with these worldly pleasures, that we have to withdraw our mind from these unwanted worldly objects or vishayas, so that we can keep our attention on the presence within. This will be achieved in much easier way only if we can understand that we can always be in the presence of Bhagavan. So once we understand this truth, then our mind will by itself naturally avoid going towards worldly objects, and instead will naturally turn within and remain in the presence of Bhagavan, remain in the pure being as I am. Because the ego or the I thought will naturally subside within and will remain merged in the presence of Bhagavan. Because there can be no higher happiness or pleasure than being in the presence of Bhagavan. Once we understand this ultimate truth, that we can always be in the presence of Bhagavan all the time, here and now, then this will be a combination of total gratitude, devotion, surrender to Bhagavan, and at the same time being attentive to the very presence of Bhagavan as well, which is the pure being I am or Aham, Satchitanandam. So this is very important to understand, the fact that we are always here and now being in the presence of Bhagavan, and that the notion of having a deep feeling of being in the presence of Bhagavan itself will drive away all our unwanted vasanas, or rather will replace the Ashubha vasanas, the worldly vasanas, Vishaya vasanas, with the Shubha vasanas or Atma vasana. The Vishaya vasanas will naturally get replaced by the Atma vasana. Hence, let us constantly remember, understand with our own experience that we are always forever in the presence of Bhagavan, and we shall never leave that presence, because it is our own sense of I am, the very being, the very essence of our own natural being itself is the presence of Bhagavan. So in essence, if we can leave off all our vasanas, desires, thoughts, etc., what else remains within us other than the presence of Bhagavan, which is there always, every moment. So actually, we as an individual do not exist, and beyond our vasanas and thoughts and desires, what remains is the presence of Bhagavan. There is only presence of Bhagavan. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.